Hi! Chances are, if you're watching this video, you want to work from home. This is how I work from home. I work for VIPkid, teaching English to kids in China. Here's the lowdown. The pros. The schedule. You pick when you want to work, and you can change it. This is what got me to VIPkid. There are lots of companies if you want to teach English online, but most of them require you to set a schedule and keep it every week. You know, like a real job. If you want to take time off, you have to get time off. My schedule changes all the time. I have a 3-year-old. It's hard to say, well, if I'm going to work this weekend, I have to work every weekend. I like the schedule. You set your own schedule. Open slots. If they get booked, you teach. There you go. If you don't open slots, you don't have to teach that day. Work at home. Reason number 2, but there are other companies that you can work at home. Like I said, have a toddler. I like to stay home and be his mom. I work when my child is asleep. He gets up, he doesn't realize mom works. I work, he sleeps. And incentives. The pay at VIPkid is $14 to $22 an hour. 14 is your base pay. Incentives, if you show up every time you get booked, you open a class, it gets booked, you show up, you don't miss class, it goes up automatically to $16 an hour. If you teach more than 45 classes in a month, it goes up automatically to $18 an hour. Now that's if you get the lowest base pay. If you get a higher base pay, you get more. This is at the lowest base pay. Incentives will get you up to $18 an hour. It's pretty good for an entry-level job teaching English whenever you want to. Cons. I'm not going to tell you it's a perfect company. So go into it with your eyes wide open. If your classes don't get booked, you don't get paid. There are some companies out there during peak times when they really want you to open your schedule that if you don't get booked, they'll give you half pay, even when you're not teaching. You don't get booked at VIPkid, you don't get paid. But after a couple of months, you will get a very consistent booking rate. You'll get a lot of bookings. Some people out there say that they got booked right out of the gate and go good for them. Most people, not so much. I didn't. It took me a good 4.5 weeks, and then all of a sudden I started getting a lot of bookings. All right, training. The training is great. They train you. You are prepared for everything. There is extra training. You can train for different levels. You can train for different areas. You can train for anything you want to train for. And it's great. It's very thorough. You will be prepared. But you don't get paid for training time. So the time you take to become a good teacher so that you get good feedback from your parents and your kids like you, no pay for training. I think that's fairly typical for online companies. It's definitely typical for contracted companies, which is what you are. You're a subcontractor at VIPkid. But, in America, you get a job where you go into work, you're usually trained on the job, you're on the clock. So, training, no pay. Cancellations. This is the biggest con at VIPkid. If something happens and you have to cancel a class, well, you don't get the incentive for showing up for the whole month. If you cancel, you don't get the incentive. Also, depending on why you cancel, sometimes they even fine you. So if you want to work for VIPkid, better be dependable. You need to be dependable. You need to be there. Most of the time that's easy. And if there's something real big, like you're in the hospital or your spouse or children die or something, then you don't have to pay the fee. They do have some things that you don't have to pay for, but most cancellations, even some that I think are pretty reasonable, they don't put up with. So make sure you can be there. Anyway, I am happy working for VIPkid, and I would love for you to join our teacher circle. If you want a flexible schedule, you want to work at home, and you want decent base pay, but with incentives even higher, as long as you show up, VIPkid is the place for you. I'm going to put my link at the bottom of this page, at the bottom of this video. If you want to join VIPkid, sign up with my link and you can email me and I will help you through the process. I will help you until you get hired and even after you get hired, until you are comfortable being a VIPkid teacher. Happy teaching!